Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Keshia and you're watching Shorty is Dope. Today's video is going to be all about how to travel with a newborn baby. I recently went on about 3 trips with my baby and she was 2 months, a little over 2 months, 3 months, and almost 4 months on the most recent trip that we did. So I'd like to say that I'm a little bit seasoned in this area. I can't say this about all babies, but my baby was definitely calm to travel with, and I definitely think the younger you travel with them, the better. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so I'm gonna go over a lot of the essentials that I found that helped me while I was traveling and made things a lot more easier when it came to traveling with a baby. The first thing I would say is having a compact stroller and car seat. Now, the car seat slash stroller that I have a car seat stroller called the Doona, and it's pretty much a car seat with wheels attached to it, and you can open up the wheels and you can collapse the wheels. And this item right here is super essential in my traveling. I understand that everybody can't get 2 car seats, or maybe you already have a car seat system. My recommendation to you would be to travel with a very lightweight or compact system, something that isn't too heavy to lug around, because we took the car seat to the gate, which means we didn't check it in with our regular bags. We pretty much had it with us the entire time throughout the airport until we got to the gate, and that's when we let go of the car seat and the stroller combination in one, and we got it back as soon as we got off the plane, meaning that we didn't have to hold the baby the entire time throughout the airport before getting our bags back. So yeah, if you don't get the Doona, or if you already have it, I would say just try to travel with something that's very convenient for you so that you're not having to haul away multiple pieces of heavy stuff. But obviously that's the easiest way to get around with your baby. The next thing I would say that is very essential, or it was for me at least, was bringing along a bassinet with us. A lot of places that you travel to may not have a bassinet for your baby, and if you're not co-sleeping with your baby, that is something that you really need to consider. So I have the Upper Baby bassinet. It came along with the Upper Baby Vista stroller that we bought. And honestly, I hardly ever used it until we had to travel on these trips. And I'm not saying you have to go out there and buy one, but if you do have a bassinet that you can collapse and bring along with you, that is something that I think would be really good for your baby, especially if you don't want your baby to be co-sleeping with you because of safety reasons and whatnot. The next essential that really helped me out and my husband out while we were in the airport and during our travels was having a baby carrier with us. I don't know why I never had a baby carrier with my first 2 children. I'm honestly wondering why no one ever gave me one, like why no one ever thought it was an essential. Why I never thought of it. Like, all these questions ran through my mind once I actually got one and loved having it. In the airport, if your baby's getting fussy in the stroller or the car seat, you can easily take the baby out, put the baby in the baby carrier, and have the baby being held close to you while still being hands-free. Like, that's the most amazing thing ever. I know I'm probably late to this party, but it really helped me out. And honestly, like, that is something you must travel with. It's super compact to bring with you. It's not gonna take up a lot of space in your diaper bag, your backpack, whatever it is. That is something that you should have on hand at all times. Honestly, it's amazing. I recommend you get one. The one that I have is Baby Bjorn, the Minu, I think it's called. It's like the smallest model. Everything that I'm mentioning will be in the description box down below, so it's easy for you guys to find and check out for yourselves. Another recommendation that I would make is to travel with your baby before they turn 2 years old. I definitely think the younger they are, the better, because they're a lot more easygoing in some ways. Once they get a little bit older, they kind of want to be walking around. They don't want to sit for that long. But the baby is free under 2 years old. You literally get to hold your baby in your lap. If you have extra hands with you, your husband can hold the baby, or maybe another child, aunt, mother, grandmother, whoever. But the best thing is you don't gotta pay for them until they're 2, and that right there is savings, y'all. Okay, so the next tip I'm gonna go over is whether you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding your baby, please make sure you have enough bottles for however long your flight is. because your baby's gonna want to eat, and it's definitely gonna help the baby depressurize their ears. Some people's ears pop when you're flying, and for babies it's no different. Luckily for me, my baby wanted to nurse almost as soon as we got on the plane, and she slept for most of the flight. I can't say that for all babies. I didn't even know my baby was gonna do it, but she's literally like 3 for 3 when it came to all our flights. She wanted to nurse most of the time. She slept for most of the time, and she wasn't really that cranky afterwards with any ear problems or anything like that. So if you're not nursing your baby, I would also suggest just, you know, bringing enough bottles so your baby has something to suck for a good amount of time to help relieve the pressure off of their ears. And as you know, for takeoff and landing, they suggest that you hold your baby in an upright position. I think I only did it about twice with her, maybe once for takeoff and once for landing, but the rest of the time she was nursing, and the flight attendants on my flight were pretty good with that. They didn't really complain. I mean, once the baby's nursing, what are you really gonna tell the mom? So as long as you're holding the baby secure and your seatbelt is on, it's not really that bad. I'm not suggesting it, but if it just so happens to be that, just let it be. Okay, so this one is essential. A lot of people think because you're traveling that maybe your baby needs a suitcase too, but baby clothes does not take up that much space. Your baby clothes can easily fit into your suitcase. No matter how much clothes you're planning on bringing, you can literally save like a corner of your suitcase for baby stuff, and trust me, it's not going to take up that much space. Unless you want to pay for a checked bag, you can go ahead and do that. That's completely up to you, but it's completely unnecessary. You can definitely put baby stuff in your suitcase. You can bring your diaper bag as a carry-on along with a backpack or a purse for yourself. You can definitely split up whatever you need for your baby within all of those bags. Another essential I would say is liquids. If you're traveling with formula, they will probably check it at security. Other than that, you're fine. Or if you're traveling with milk, same thing. And keep liquids to a minimum unless it's formula and whatnot. I traveled with gripe water. Any small liquids you have to travel with, make sure you Ziploc them. And I'm giving this to you as a tip because when I traveled with my gripe water, I forgot to put it in a Ziploc bag, even though I had one set aside, and it exploded in the diaper bag. And I was smelling it at first and I was like, that smells like gripe water, but I'm not too sure. Then eventually I had to change the baby's diaper, went in, and the whole pocket that it was in was soaked, smelling like gripe water. But I just wiped it out with some wipes and it was fine. But you know, just to prevent stuff like that, or maybe even getting spare clothes for the baby wet, put it in a Ziploc bag. All right, my last tip I'm gonna give to you guys is bring some toys for your baby. Depending on the age, your baby is gonna wanna be entertained at some point in time on the flight. If you're on a short flight, you may not run into this issue, but for my daughter, I have literally about 2 or 3 toys for her, and they did the job fine. So obviously, depending on the age of your baby, you might wanna bring maybe their favorite teddy bear, maybe a teething toy, maybe a squeaking toy, and all of those things can definitely help you out when it comes to entertaining your baby and keeping them occupied while the flight is going or while you have X amount of time left before your flight lands. Okay, so if you've traveled before, you obviously know the worst part about traveling is the waiting. Luckily, when we travel, we try to literally get to the airport within the time that they want you to check in by before your plane boards. We don't get there too early because, as you may know, I have 2 other children that aren't exactly the most patient kids in the world. They're pretty good, but if it's for too long, you will start to hear the nagging and complaining, like, when is the plane leaving soon? And how much longer are we gonna be waiting for? So we got to the airport about 2 hours before we had to take off. By the time you check in, get to security, maybe change a diaper or 2, it's literally almost time to board. That way you're not waiting around that much longer, but always check for flight updates before you leave your house so you make sure that you're getting there in a good time. And also, if your plane's delayed, you're not getting there too early that you have to wait longer before your plane's actually boarding. Next, I would say when you're checking into the airport, definitely ask if they have a family line. This right here is a major key. Ask them if they have family boarding. Sometimes you get to the airport and the security line is super long, busy, and you can just tell it's gonna take a long time. And if you're traveling with a young baby, you know you probably only have a few minutes before your baby gets fussy. This is where the baby carrier comes into hand. But either way, if you ask them for the family line, it's almost 10 times out of 10 a lot more shorter. They're a lot friendlier because you have a cute baby with you, and you get through to where you need to be a lot faster. Last but not least, do not use the water in the bathroom on the airplane. I don't care if you need to rinse off a pacifier or a bottle, or if you're even planning on drinking it, just don't do it. Plain water is extremely bacteria infested. If you need water, ask them for either boiling water or bottled water. Do not use airplane water from the bathroom. Trust me, just don't do it. And even if you bring your, I don't even know if you can bring your own boiled water. So check with your airline definitely before you travel. Otherwise, ask them for boiled water or bottled water for whatever you need to do. Just do not use the bathroom water. All right, you guys, so that is it for this video. Go ahead and leave some comments down below if you have any questions. I'll try my best to answer as many as I can, and give me a big thumbs up if this video helped you out in some way, shape, or form when it comes to you traveling with your baby. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.